So I'm not super filled with joy right now. What's up, everybody? My name is Sen. Welcome back to the channel. And you know, I'm sure you guys might have already seen some coverage on this. I want to do my part and cover the news relating to XKO myself. We got some news and updates about the kind of things going on around the game, not necessarily how the game is doing, but we get a little taste of that too. So I figure I'll cover it. So hey everyone, I wanted to take a moment to share an important update on 2XKO. This is a difficult update to share, but we want to be clear about what's changing and why. After a lot of discussion and reflection, we are reducing the size of the 2XKO team. From my understanding, it's going from 160 to 80 or whatever. It's exactly being cut in half. We can talk about that more in just a minute. I'll cover this in full and then we can discuss more. I want you to know that decision wasn't made lightly. As we expanded from PC to console, we saw consistent trends in how players were engaging with 2XKO. The game has resonated with a passionate core audience, but overall momentum hasn't reached the level needed to support a team of this size long term. With a smaller, focused team, we're going to dig in and make key improvements to the game, including some of the things we've already heard you asking for. We'll share some of our plans soon. Our plans for the 2026 competitive series are unchanged. We remain committed to partnering with tournament organizers and local communities. Our focus will continue to be supporting the events and organizers that already power the FGC. Ultimately, this decision reflects a shift in how we operate. This isn't a judgment on individual rioters or a signal that the journey is over. We're reshaping the team to give 2XKO a more sustainable path forward. About the people behind the game, I want to be clear about something that matters deeply to me. The people who helped ship 2XKO poured years of creative care and belief in this game. Taking creative risks like this is hard, and the work they did is real and meaningful. We're committed to supporting impacted rioters through this transition, including helping them explore opportunities with Riot where possible, and providing them with a minimum of 6 months of notice pay and severance where it is not. Going forward, I know this update will raise questions and concerns. That's understandable. We'll continue communicating about how things are progressing. In the journey so far, we've been humbled and dazzled by the energy and passion you brought to the 2XKO community. The energy matters, and it will help us in the next chapter as we improve the game. Thank you for playing 2XKO, for caring enough to ask hard questions, and for being part of this community. Tom Cannon. So this is all pretty vague. Like I was saying, from my understanding, the development team for this game was cut pretty much exactly in half. Now, there isn't a ton here. Obviously, it's just, addressing major layoffs, saying that they're going to continue with as much steam forward as they can. But from my understanding, like I said earlier, the development team for the game has been cut in half. This is both understandable and tough to hear at the same time. It's tough to hear because you're thinking about what the foreseeable future with this game will be like. Are they going to continue to roll out content in the same way? Are they going to continue to make new characters? Are they going to continue to support the game for years to come? We don't know, especially with them saying that the game is more or less underperforming. It's very easy to feel uncertain about the future of this game, whether that just be from like a casual standpoint, where if the game doesn't get support and it just kind of is left as what it is this going to be a game that you want to continue to playing for years to come? In the state now, probably not. As a competitor, you're potentially thinking of making a quick shift to whatever the nearest ship you can jump off at is, especially if you're competing for something like your livelihood. Will the major tournaments get the same prize pooling? Will they continue to draw like good crowds or attention on the game as whole? And if they're not, it's like a collapsing issue where if more and more people are jumping ship because the game doesn't feel stable to play, that's going to make producing more content in the future of 2XKO that much harder to get behind, thus causing the game to ultimately collapse, which I don't want to see. I actually really like this game. Honestly, as casually as I've been playing fighting games lately, 2XKO has been pretty much the main game that I'm hopping on when I have downtime. And as just a casual enjoyer, this doesn't really impact me. But everyone else that takes the game a lot more seriously than I do, like this kind of hits pretty rough. Now, to some degree, this is expected, right? Because the game is out right now. You can play on console, you can play on PC. I've largely been playing it on console just because it's easier for me because I have all my fighting games in one place. But the optics of this look so bad. When your game just launches and you're cutting a majority of your workforce, or, you know, not a majority, half your workforce, and you're saying the game isn't performing as well as you'd like. Like I said, to some degree, this is expected. You know, downsizing off of a game's initial launch isn't unheard of. It's actually pretty common because the packages are already out there. All you have to do is sustain the game and continue to push out content, and the work from getting the game out there is dramatically heftier than adding new characters or cosmetics or challenges or whatever you have to do, doing patching, you know, bug fixing. The game's only been out for like 3 weeks or a month, like that, like actual, like fully being out, not in beta anymore. So that compounding with them saying, hey, the game's not doing amazing right now, it's just raising all these questions for a lot of players. It's like, oh well, shit, do I dip out of this game? Now, I think this game is really cool. I have a lot of fun playing this game. This is kind of the main game that I've been playing these days. It's the game I boot up casually when I just want to like throw on and play a fighting game. And I have a ton of fun playing this game. So it's really sad to hear that, you know, the game is losing internal support and like subsequently might not be getting as much support as a result of that. Starting from a sheer package standpoint, it's really impressive that this is a free-to-play game. And being as good as it is, like, this game is not a shit game. I think it's very fun. I think it's very well thought out. I have a great time playing every time I hop on. You know, it's unique that we can duo together and hit the online streets in that way. I think the way this game handles the active tag system is very good. I think the characters are very well considered. The IP, in my mind, is big enough, that being from League of Legends, and then the way they handle the basic kits of these characters and flesh them out to be full fighting game characters is extremely impressive. Holy fuck, this game is sick. But there's still a bunch of people that just like don't know this game exists. They don't know that they can get their hands on it for free and play like the online video game, and we're in the ecosystem of fighting games, which aren't the most popular game ever. It helps that it's attached to a juggernaut IP like League of Legends, but are League of Legends player going to be like sacrificing their time to go play a genre of game that they don't even know that they like? Probably not. So the cross-pollination between something like League of Legends to this isn't going to be as vast as some people may have thought initially. You know, there's so many people of the camp of thought that, like, oh, 2XKO is the savior of fighting games, and now that it's out, it hasn't caught the momentum that people wanted. Like I said, I think it's sick that a game that I view as being this good is just free for anyone to grab. But with as much work as they put into this game to make it functional and make it as cool as it is, and like, you know, graphic designers, people working on like how the actual mechanics work of this game, obviously that'll cost money. So all the return that they are going to get is maybe from like tournament entries, possibly, but a majority of their income is thought to be out of stuff like battle passes or just general cosmetics. You know, the way this game is monetized, much to the same effect that League of Legends is. League of Legends is also free, and the money that they make is from, you know, maybe ticket sales for something like Worlds, but, you know, a large majority of that is the player base copying costumes or whatever the battle pass may be. The problem with that is that that money is not guaranteed, especially in today's climate where, you know, if people are in much the same shoes that I am, $20 for a skin is steep and like hard to warrant. You know, battle pass is a great value for sure. You know, spend $10, get some cosmetics, get some like all that good stuff. But I don't have much, likely the same way a lot of people feel, I don't have the excess income that I did 5 or so years ago, where I can kind of just frivolously spend money on just a random game, even if it is taking up a lot of my time. You have to consider, it's like, all right, is it really worth to spend that $20? Which, looking at a game like Street Fighter, people were just like, oh, like, how come Street Fighter hasn't considered the free-to-play format? And it's because all the purchases of this game, they're guaranteed to make some kind of money just from the initial purchase of the game. You also have season passes and all that shit, and you also have battle passes, which is alternative ways for them to make revenue. It's the same formula that 2XKO is doing, but they get upfront money down just by buying the game. When you purchase a game, especially at full price or like 60 or 70 or whatever bucks, and then you buy season passes on top of that, you are of the mind that you want to put in the time warranted in that game to kind of like justify that purchase. When it's a free-to-play package, you're just of the mind that it'll always be there, it'll always be free, it'll always be around, I can come to this whenever, maybe causing people to not spend as much time in this game as something that they spent money for. Like, to me, that raises a question of, like, should this have been a purchasable game? Like, maybe not necessarily at full price like a Street Fighter is, but maybe like 10 or 20 bucks just so they get some initial income. But then at the same time, does this ruin the idea of it's free to play, so there's less apprehension about trying a free-to-play game? Like, with the downsizing of this team, like, does this affect any like future patching, or how frequently the game is patched, how much content is rolled out as far as like skins or whatever it may be? How does this affect the landscape of the game moving forward? That's kind of on a lot of people's mind. The thing that I'm thinking about is how best can we support the game, even if it's not necessarily from a monetization sense. Number one, it's to not jump ship, because things are looking a little bit rocky right now. The best way you can draw an audience to a game is to create an audience for that game, and that's just by continuing to support the game. Like I said, not necessarily from a monetization standpoint, but it's to draw eyes on it however you can, whether that be promotions or like, you know, collaborating with content creators. Frame one, making content for the game, and then showing that your audience that this is a game that you can play and there's very cool things about playing this game. All right, baby. I know you want to leap, bro. Oh, okay. Turn it up a little bit, sure. Nice throw. Yeah, we burst here. Oh my god, I whiffed. Buff Yasuo. Oh my god, I'm so shit. Ah! This is gonna hurt. Okay, nice. Got the wall splat. Oh, honestly, I forgot he could do that. Yeah, I should have bloody known. Alright, we're in a bit of a rust spot. We can pull this off, though. Come on, baby. Oh, got the burst. Let's go. I'm the best. Oh, you going to jail now? You going to jail now? Ugh. Peep game, peep game. Oh, I'm the best. Hold on. Oh, you thought you could mess with the likes of Sen? Put that in your fucking pod and stir it, baby. From jump, tag fighters are my favorite fighting games to begin with. I love tag fighters. You know, I played Dragon Ball FighterZ for years. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is a lot of fun, even if I suck at it. Marvel Infinite, I had my fun with that. Marvel 2. Fucking trying to think of other tag fighters right now. Obviously, this game is a ton of fun for me, and I could see myself sinking hours into this game because it's just a fun playground to mess around with and feel the character power, and then see how they've developed these kits from being so basic into these full characters and like the crazy shit and power level that you can do. It does make me a little sad that they like want to tweak it, because honestly I think this version of the game is really fun the way it is right now. I think the best thing we can do for the game right now, not in the monetary sense, is just continue to show the love that the same way that communities have always shown love for the fighting games, just to be like a really hardcore dedicated community. If you have the spare cash to spend on the game, go for it. You know, I'm not gonna strong arm you into being like, give me your money and put it in 2xk or anything like that. I get it. I'm in the same financial chokehold that a lot of people are. I don't have a ton of money to throw around. If I have any spare money, fuck it, I'm down. I'll buy a skin or buy the battle pass or whatever. I'll support it how I can. But I mean, look at the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 community. You know, they continue to show love to their game. You know, same with Marvel 2, same with Street Fighter 4. I'm sure there's some cross-Tekken players out there that continue to play that game to this day. MKX. If you really like and rock with this game, you have to show it off because so many people just don't know this game exists. Do whatever, you know, make a TikTok video or Instagram reel, or, you know, do some YouTube videos or stream, or tell your friends, you know, they could be your fighting game friends or your non-fighting game friends. Show them that, like, oh, hey, this game's really cool and it's free if you want to give it a swing for yourself and jump into the fray. Tell all the League of Legends players that you know. And there's no guarantee that us supporting the game in the way that we are and continuing to play in the way that we are, and yeah, making content, making videos, doing streams, all this stuff, sharing with friends, even if it does garner a bunch of new attention to the game, it doesn't guarantee that the people that were working on the game are going to be able to come back, because like I said, you know, studios downsize. It's just how it works. I don't know how like much of a workforce you actually need to kind of keep a fighting game on the up and up. I can't imagine a lot. You know, 160 people working on the game. You take a look at like a AAA game, that doesn't sound like a lot to me. Having a workforce of 160 people working on a game that's of like AAA quality, not saying that this is, does not sound like a lot for a studio. But I can imagine it's tough, you know, if you're not getting that income and you're really pinching pennies, and downsizing only makes sense. All I'm saying though is we should be doing our part where we can.